All right, let's jump right into today's explainer. We're diving deep into the teachings and writings of Guide Shufeng, the founder of Life Chen Yuan. Specifically, we're unpacking a really thought-provoking piece of his called The Way of Nature, Striving and Waiting. We're going to look at the ultimate destinations of life, and honestly, we're trying to figure out that super delicate balance between striving for our goals and just patiently waiting for destiny to unfold. Whether you know this philosophy like the back of your hand or you're just dipping your toes in for the first time, this framework offers a completely captivating way to look at our daily grinds and our biggest long-term ambitions.
So let's kick things off with a profoundly relatable question. What is the saddest thing in life? Take a second to actually think about that. If you ask a wise person, they might tell you the ultimate sorrow is parting from loved ones, right? Or if you ask someone deeply compassionate, they might say it's having a dead heart or living in absolute destitution, sickness, and hopelessness. And honestly, those are incredibly heavy, valid answers that hit right at the core of the human experience.
But here is where Guide Shufeng flips the script. He completely contrasts those common views. For him, the absolute saddest thing isn't poverty, and it's not even heartbreak. It's having zero ideals, no hope, no goals, and absolutely no direction. It's the tragedy of just toiling away your entire life, running on this endless treadmill without a destination, only to end up totally empty-handed. Imagine dying without ever understanding your purpose or finding any real fulfillment. That kind of absolute aimlessness, that is what he identifies as true sadness. Section 1. The 8 Ultimate Destinations, Mapping the Journey of Life. According to Shufeng's teachings, our life on Earth is basically a fleeting performance. It literally doesn't matter if you're chilling in a luxurious villa or living in a humble hut. Whether you're dining on 5-star delicacies or just eating simple food, a century passes in the absolute blink of an eye. And because our time is so fleeting, this framework objectively maps out 8 possible endpoints for our life's journey, destinations we should choose before we even embark. We've got the heavenly realm, the Elysium world, returning to the human world, the animal realm, the plant realm, the netherworld, the frozen layer, and finally, the fire refinement layer. By setting your compass towards one of these right from the jump, you instantly simplify your existence instead of just letting it devolve into total chaos. Now, zooming in on this specific framework, we hit the concept of a Chen Yuan celestial. So what is that? It's defined as a follower of the way of the greatest creator, someone whose specific, chosen destination is the Elysium world. And that actually includes the 1,000-year world, the 10,000-year world, and the Celestial Islands continent. By making this one purposeful choice, people turn what could be a totally frantic, aimless life into a steady, laser-focused climb. The path just becomes crystal clear. Section 2. The Way of Nature, the Balance of Goal and Flow. Okay, so once your destination is locked in and you are walking your path, you're obviously going to run into all sorts of weather. You'll see sunny skies, terrifying storms, wide open highways, and those narrow, super sketchy dirt paths. You just have to walk it with ease. And this brings us to a really fascinating core paradox described by Zhu Feng. When the melon is ripe, it falls from the vine. When water flows, a channel forms. The way of nature basically demands that everything happens naturally. Yes, you absolutely need a clear goal, but being overly eager, forcing things, hastening outcomes, that completely violates the natural flow. Rushing doesn't actually get you there faster. It literally just creates a ton of unintended anxiety and resistance. So what this means is that conscious effort has to be combined with just letting things take their natural course. It's a very delicate dance. If you don't make a deliberate, conscious effort, you run the massive risk of wandering aimlessly. You get completely lost in the labyrinth of life, or what Shufeng calls the 36-8 diagram arrays of Tao. But on the flip side of that, if you lack the mindset of natural acceptance, like if you just can't let things take their course, you're going to become overly competitive, incredibly impatient, and just constantly stressed out. Section 3. Effort versus destiny, the mathematics of success. So, how do we actually pull off that balance between effort and acceptance? Well, to achieve your goals, Zhu Feng's text gives us a very specific math equation, a 30-70 split. Only 30% relies on your personal effort, while a massive 70% relies on destiny and nature factors. That 70%, it includes the greatest creator, the way, the cosmic program, timing, location, and overall harmony. The reality is, human wisdom and effort are inherently limited. If the timing is off or the circumstances just aren't aligning, pushing your 30% to its absolute breaking point still won't force a successful outcome. But hey, do not mistake that 70% destiny as a free pass to just sit back and be lazy.
As the teachings remind us, heaven helps those who help themselves. There is no free lunch, and the heavens won't drop gifts into your lap. That 30% active effort is absolutely crucial. Without it, you are literally just drifting. If you refuse to put in your 30%, you're just going to get swept away by the tide of life. You have to show up and you have to do the work. Guide Shoufeng actually anchors this whole concept beautifully using an agricultural metaphor. He maps it out in 3 distinct steps. Step 1, you must sow the seeds, water them, fertilize the soil, and clear out the weeds. That right there is your 30% effort. Step 2, let nature take its course. And step 3, wait patiently for the ripening. Think about it. Just like 10 months of pregnancy leads to the 1 day of birth, a watermelon has its own specific maturation period. No amount of haste, worry, or dumping extra water on it is going to shorten that natural cycle. Rushing achieves literally nothing. Section 4, Adapting to Circumstances, the final advice. All right, bringing it all together. How exactly are we as travelers supposed to apply this profound philosophy to our daily routines? The ultimate takeaway here is this quote: adapt to circumstances, flow with the changes of fate, act according to your nature, and seize opportunities as they arise. It's really all about acting deliberately and seizing those golden opportunities when the timing is right, when your 30% can truly shine. But it's also about gracefully flowing with fate and letting that 70% take over when things are just completely out of your hands. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final provocative question to chew on today. Is your life right now driven by forced haste or natural flow? Take a moment today to really honestly think about your own journey. Are you balancing your 30% effort while trusting that 70% destiny? Are you running aimlessly on a treadmill, or are you walking with purpose and ease toward your chosen destination? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer today. Keep striving, keep waiting, and absolutely keep learning.